Hey, good evening. Welcome to the July free leadership call for this month. So glad that you're a part of it. Man, it is July. It is hot outside, and we're in the middle of baseball season. I don't know about you, but I just grew up a baseball fan from playing 5 years old all the way through high school, and just love baseball season. You know, this last week was the Major League Baseball All-Star Week and Home Run Derby, and I just grew up watching the Home Run Derby and just thinking about what that was going to be like and how much fun that was to watch every year, and just brought back so many memories for me of growing up and baseball and where I am in life today versus where I was then. You know, thinking through those times, I went back and looked, and in my safe I have a couple baseballs. May not be able to see it there, but written on this baseball right here, it says, "To Pawpaw, love, Nick Edwards." This baseball has a special meaning to me. This was a baseball that I remember I was probably in 5th or 6th grade, and I won the game ball. And afterwards, my grandpa was at the game. He ended up dying from cancer right before I started 7th grade. And after the game, he said, "Can I have your game ball?" I remember thinking, "Oh, he wants my game ball?" And I remember him being sick at the time, and I remember giving him the ball. And the next day, I remember going to his house, and he took my game ball and he gave me a ball in exchange. And it's this ball right here. It says, "To Harold, best wishes, Mickey Mantle." You know, my grandpa traded a 5th grader, a 6th grader game ball for a baseball that had Mickey Mantle's signature on it. A ball that was worth a lot more than mine. But he traded it, and he wanted to give me this gift. And man, just baseball has just a special memories for me, and that they just go deep within me and bring joy and laughter and fun and thinking about old friends that I grew up with playing. I even brought a special bat. I actually made this bat when I think I was in like 8th grade shop class, and I made a bat. You know, when we think about our life and just thinking about the progress of our life and where we've gone and how we've grown through time and how we've gone through different stages, and now I just think I'm old, fat, and bald, and there's no way I'd be out on a baseball field today. But thinking about those different times and those different seasons, that we all go through different seasons. And so as I begin thinking through that and processing it, I just realized there's some life lessons that we need to learn from baseball, and just kind of wanted to take a few minutes and share those with you tonight. First thing is this. Man, to be in the Hall of Fame, to be in the top of the top, to make it in the Hall of Fame, you only have to bat about 300, and that'll get you in. Think about that for a second. 300. That's 30% of the time they get it right. 30% of the time they get a hit. And they're the best of the best. So I went through and just kind of looked at some stats. Listen to some of these stats on baseball. Derek Jeter, captain for the Yankees for years. His lifetime average was 310. Alex Rodriguez, 295. Ty Cobb, one of the greatest ever, 366. Tony Gwynn, one of the best ever. Has some crazy stats on his hitting, 394. Mickey Mantle, 298. Those are guys that hit over 300, and they are the top of the top of the top of the Hall of Fame. But if you just hit 300, that'll get you there. When you think about that, it means you don't have to be perfect. Man, as leaders, we so much want to just get things right. And we get paralyzed by not wondering should we take this next step? Should we do this next thing? Well, what if we strike out? What if we miss? What if it doesn't work out like it was planned? Well, that's the reality. That's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot in life. It's going to happen a lot of business. It's going to happen a lot in your leadership. You're going to try something and you're going to miss. And you're going to try something else and you're going to miss. But you keep swinging. You keep going for the fences, and you keep going up to bat. And the more times that you go to bat, the better you get. And you start realizing, hey, don't swing at that bad pitch. This guy always throws me a curveball in the dirt. Don't swing at that one. But you don't have to be perfect. I think this is really something that leaders struggle with. I think it's something that a lot of people in life struggle with. They think they have to be perfect. but you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better. Better than you were yesterday, better than you were the day before, just a little bit better every day. And so lesson number one, lessons from baseball, is you don't have to be perfect. 30% is probably good enough. Have a good team around you. Build a great team. Do your best and always get better, and you don't have to be perfect. Lesson number two from baseball is be a specialist, not a utility player. You know, when you're playing Little League Baseball and kids are playing baseball and the kid goes from pitcher to first base and the first baseman goes to second base and they're making this whole rotation and then the second baseman goes to right field, right fielder comes off the field and someone else goes to catcher. And you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years old and everybody can play every position. But if you're going to be great, you have to pick the position that you can be great at. We have to move from being utility players and being the jack of all trades to being the specialist. So my question would be, what are you great at? What is the thing that you are better at than anybody else? And focus on that. You know, I was having this conversation with my wife earlier this week and just said, I'm really good at this and I'm really bad at this. And I spend way too much time over here in these things. Why am I trying to be good at everything? I need to pick the thing that I'm the best at and get better at it and better at it and better at it. You know, no one ever asks a pitcher what his batting average is. It doesn't matter. That's not what he's there to do. He is there to throw strikes, to throw strikeouts, and to get people out. Doesn't matter what he bats. He bats 110. Okay. Because that's not his job. He's not trying to be great at everything. He's trying to be the very best at the one thing that he can do. Now listen, are there exceptions? Are there people in our lives you go, this person's not great at everything? Yeah, maybe so. But they're not great at everything. They have the things that they're good at. They work on those things and they focus on those things. So what does that mean for your job? What does it mean for your work? What does it mean for your future? You don't have to be great at everything. Pick that thing, be the best at it, be the very best first baseman, be the very best at sales, be the very best at greeting people at the door, be the very best at leading team meetings. But make sure you're the best. And every day, get a little bit better at it. Focus on your strengths, not on the things that you're not great at. You will be better. All right, number 3. You know what? I was growing up, I loved pitching. I think I loved pitching because that's the position that you actually have the most control over. And maybe I have control issues. Maybe I'm a little bit of a control freak, but I loved pitching. I knew what I was going to do. I didn't have to respond. I didn't have to wait till something else happens to know what I was going to do. I got to be in that position of control. But great pitchers can actually be different. See, there can be the starter, the starting pitcher, there can be a middle reliever, and then there can be a closer. And just because other people are like you doesn't mean that they're the same as you. See, there can be pitchers who play different roles. There can be fastball pitchers, there can be curveball pitchers. There can be guys that throw a lot of junk, and there can be guys that throw a lot of heat. There can be starters, there can be closers. And just because people are like you doesn't mean that they're the same as you. So don't compare yourself to them. They have their unique role, and you have your unique role. Take some pressure off yourself. You're different. You're unique. You're great. You're good at what you do. So don't worry about what someone else is doing in your own field. Don't worry about what someone else is doing in your job. Don't worry about the new guy who comes in. Know your position. Focus on that. And just because they're in the same role, just because they're in the same group, just because they are doing something that's similar to you, you can still be unique and shine in that unique position. Not everybody can be a starter. Not everybody can be a closer. Someone has to be able to carry the weight of that middle relief and make sure that the team can get from the 5th inning to the 6th inning to the 7th inning before a closer comes in. Be different, be unique, and be okay with what makes you unique and great in your position. All right, so that's three. 300, get you into Hall of Fame. Be a specialist, not a utility player. Even if the people are the same as you, you're still unique. Number 4, get a coach. Man, I remember seeing this from different specials of how great players have not just the head coach or a position coach, but they have a coach that helps them in batting. They have a person that helps them in their throwing. They have a person who helps them in their fielding. If you are going to be great, you have to have someone who invests in you, who knows exactly where you are, knows exactly where you need to improve, and knows exactly how to get you there. See, I talk a lot about investing in yourself. And there's no greater investment that you can make into your future than to invest in yourself. One of the ways to do that is to hire a specialist who can make you the best at being a specialist. Not everyone can get you there. Not everyone can get you to your future goals and dreams. Not everyone has the ability to take where you are now and move you along. So find the right person who will invest in you, who will say, hey, you need to improve in this area. Look, you don't have to be a jack of all trades. You don't have to do everything. But there's certain things you need to get better at. Whether it's communication, running team meetings, whether it's doing evaluations, maybe it's hiring. What do you need to be better at? And who is helping you to get better at those things? Are you willing to invest in yourself by hiring that coach? Whether it's Michael Phelps and thinking about all the gold medals, and he had a coach for every single thing that he did. You think about a Cal Ripken Jr. and playing shortstop, and he had a specific coach that was helping every single part of his game to be better. So who's investing in you? Who's your coach? Who's moving you forward, keeping you accountable, and making you work harder every single day so that you can be better? It's going to take hard work. It's going to take an investment. But if you want to be Hall of Fame, you want to be unique, you want to be great, not just good, but you want to be great, you're going to have someone in your corner that's fighting for you, pushing you harder, and helping you to reach the goals and the dreams that you want to achieve. And I just want to challenge you. Think about that with this week. Think about the person that you need in your life to move you forward. I've been doing the same thing. I've had a coach in my life that's helped me at different levels. And even this week, talking about who in my life is helping me to get to the next level. Better at teaching free leadership classes, teaching masterminds, who's helping me be better at marketing, or making sure that I'm giving away certain things and hiring someone out because I don't need to do all those things. I know if I'm going to be the person who gets to the next level, who wants to be better, that I have to have someone who's helping me, coaching me, leading me, questioning me, and asking me the hard questions based upon where I want to go. If you want to be great, you got to have someone in your corner. All right, that's 4. Here's the last one. And I think this is something that leaders really struggle with. You know, in baseball, there's this crucial moment, maybe it's the 8th inning or 9th inning, that you have a runner on. Maybe he's on second. And you need to get him to third. And the person goes up to the plate, and the coach gives him a sign for a sacrifice bunt. Man, I think the sacrifice bunt is so undervalued in baseball. To be able to give up yourself, to be able to give up your own aspirations, the idea of you going to the plate and hitting the home run and being a hero, and the coach asks you to sacrifice, to give up yourself for an out in order to give a chance for the team to move forward. But here's what I want you to hear. I think the sacrifice bunt is undervalued in baseball, and I think it's overvalued in life. So many times leaders think that they have to sacrifice themselves for the sake of everyone else. They have to give up their strengths. They have to give up what they bring to the team in order to help someone else who doesn't actually bring the same value to that position. They think they have to give up their time, they have to give up their energy, they have to give up their resources in order to sacrifice something that doesn't actually help the team be better. The sacrifice bunt in baseball is way undervalued. It's a huge part of the game. But leaders have to stop sacrificing themselves, thinking it's actually moving the team forward. You're the best at what you do. That's not arrogant. That's not prideful. That doesn't mean that you think you're better than everyone else. But you're great at what you do. You're great at what you bring to the team. So don't devalue that. Step up to the plate and hit a home run. Be the best for your team. Know what you're great at. And make sure that you work within those strengths. It feels arrogant. It feels like, I should be more humble and I should give to the team. It's not humble and it's not giving to the team if you're not at your best. If you're not at your best, the team's not at the best. I'm not telling you there's not times to sacrifice. Leaders always have to sacrifice. They have to work harder and give more. But don't sacrifice yourself. Don't sacrifice your family. Don't sacrifice your position. Don't sacrifice the good of the team in order to have some type of false humility. Be great. Be the best. Always be better. And always be improving because you know your value. One of the things we're going to talk about next month is you need to know your value, you need to grow your value, and you need to go where you are valued. Man, I want to say that again. Listen, know your value, grow your value, and go where you are valued. Man, when you do that, you will live in a place of joy, of fulfillment, of just doing, I am at my sweet spot. Don't just always give up. Don't always go to the plate looking to sacrifice bunt. Go to the plate. Swing for the fences. Do something great and bring your very best to the team. All right, that was the 5 lessons from baseball, but I actually have a bonus one for you. You know, I started thinking about this today, thinking about football season's coming up, and they're talking about SEC media days and all the different things that are going on and all the different sports. You know what? One thing that's unique about baseball? The coach wears the same uniform as the players. I mean, think about that for a second. How crazy would it be for Bill Belichick to walk on the field with shoulder pads and a helmet on? Can you imagine Nick Saban's on the sidelines at Alabama and he walks out there with a helmet on? It's crazy. No other sport does this. Not soccer, not football, not hockey. But in baseball, the manager, the one who leads the entire team, wears the same uniform as the rest of the team. He may be the old guy, he may be a little out of shape, but he brings his wisdom to the game. He brings his wisdom to the team. And what he realizes is it's not about what I look like. It's not my uniqueness in this moment. Part of being a great leader is being a part of the team. You can say, well, are these things in conflict with one another? Absolutely not. Everyone has a role and everyone has a position. And even these different life lessons, these leadership truths that we learn from baseball, have a position in your life. And leaders need to be part of the team. They can be great. They don't have to sacrifice. They can just bat 300 and be good enough there. But they can also walk the same line as the team, look like the team, be a part of the team, and at the same time, be the manager who leads the team on the field. You know, all of this is about leaders getting better, understanding that all around us are these lessons that we see in sports, in life, in marriage, in churches, in business, that we take all of these things and we begin seeing how they apply to our life. They begin looking at our life, our leadership, our business, in order that we can always be better. Because better is always better. I can't wait to see you next month as we continue on these free leadership calls. Also, we have new masterminds starting in August. Don't want to miss it. I'll make sure that you have the link to be able to join that starting the first Tuesday in August. That'll run every Tuesday in August. It's going to be good. always going to be better, always helping leaders to be at their very best. Because when you're better, everyone around you is better. Thank you again for being a part of this. Grateful for how you continue to invest in leading yourself. And remember, better is always better.